Welcome to the advanced manufacturing facility, where the fully electric Lucid Air and the Lucid Gravity are produced. Right now, you're watching the pressing of body parts from steel coils at the main plant in Casa Grande, Arizona. Last year, this luxury car maker produced more than 9,000 cars here. Lucid Motors currently has 7,000 employees, most of whom work on the main assembly line. Series production here began in September 2021 with the Lucid Air. Since then, production has been growing, and Lucid Motors plans to compete directly with automaker Tesla. Now that the entire car body is welded together, this four-door luxury sedan can move on to an anti-corrosion coating. Outfitted with the world's most advanced production line equipment, this plant has an initial capacity to produce 10,000 cars a year, and more than 300,000 cars a year after a planned expansion. Since April 2019, Lucid has been majority owned by the Public Investment Fund, which is the sovereign wealth fund of Saudi Arabia. Other investors include large index fund managers like the Vanguard Group, BlackRock, and State Street Corporation. Right now, you are watching the bodywork being painted with the final paint called the primer. This is followed by the output quality control, where a factory worker checks the painted bodywork. Any imperfections will be polished or repaired. Lucid mainly developed battery technology in its early years, but began development of its first car in 2014. This factory includes a new 3 million square foot manufacturing facility and warehouse. Right now, you're already watching the main assembly line inside this Lucid Motors Factory in Arizona. Employees work with a robotic arm to assemble a panoramic glass canopy. Factory workers in this car plant assemble parts step by step according to a predetermined procedure. The electric motor is manufactured separately and assembled into the car as a complete unit. Lucid Air can be optioned as a dual motor, all-wheel drive powertrain producing up to 1,111 horsepower for the Touring and Grand Touring model. In the Pure model, Lucid Air has only a single motor. The top-of-the-line Sapphire has a tri-motor all-wheel drive. Now these luxury Lucid Air cars will be taken to the test workstation. Here, all the lights will be tested, and then the car will be taken to the dyno to test performance and other driving parameters. The range of the Dream Edition car is estimated at 520 miles, which is 840 kilometers. It is currently the longest range in the EV market. This is again followed by thorough quality testing. With such expensive cars, Lucid Air prices start at $80,000. The highest level of quality is a given. By comparison, Lucid Motors produced 9,000 cars last year, and Tesla over 1.7 million. Lucid Motors, however, focuses on the more premium segment and has a unique approach to developing electric vehicles. Lucid Motors certainly has more growth potential than Tesla. In 2020, this is how the development of a new electric SUV called Lucid Gravity began. After designing the look, work began on the clay model. After creating a clay model, the first test prototype of this concept car was created. You are now watching the dyno testing and also the vibration test, which is an important test of the designed prototype. This wind tunnel test is another important step in the development of the new car. The Lucid Gravity's air drag coefficient is just 0.24, which is very low for a car that can carry 6 or 7 people and their luggage. The next step is to test for extreme weather. The car is exposed to extreme cold, and a series of tests are being carried out to see if the car will be functional in, for example, Canada. Lucid Motors has 2 main competitors in the United States, Rivian Automotive and, of course, Tesla. We will see in a few years which of these 3 automakers wins out. If you own a Lucid, I would certainly appreciate it if you would share your experience in the comments below the video. These cars are relatively rare so far, and a review would be great. This is a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility in Normal, Illinois. This is where all Rivian vehicles are manufactured. As you can see right now, main pressing machine in Rivian's factory is from Komatsu. The entire side frame of the Rivian body is molded as one large part. This is how the Rivian R1T production process begins. It is a battery electric mid-size light-duty luxury pickup truck produced since 2021. The manufactured body parts are transported to the central warehouse. The ideal temperature and humidity are maintained here to ensure that no parts corrode or otherwise deteriorate. From this warehouse, they will then be moved to the welding area. The Volkswagen Group announced its intention to invest up to $5 billion in Rivian. In June 2023, it was reported that Rivian adopted the North American charging system for its vehicles in North America, beginning in the 2025 model year. The robots take the molded side parts and attach them to the floor and roof. The joints between these 4 main body sections are automated by robotic arms. Complete welding and painting is almost completely automated by robotic arms. The Rivian R1S has its own motor for each wheel. This is not very common in all-electric cars. This may also be the reason for Rivian's higher price compared to other manufacturers. Together, these motors allow the R1S to sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.6 seconds. Both the Rivian R1T and the Rivian R1S come standard with LA Silver. You can choose to upgrade your paint to Glacier White, Rivian Blue, Forest Green, Red Canyon, Midnight, El Cap Granite, or Limestone. Finished car bodies are stored in this warehouse. These bodies are already sprayed with the final paint. They are then transported to the main assembly line. The production of the chassis, including axles, takes place at this workstation. Rivian has a total of 17,000 employees. In early 2024, the company announced that it was putting on hold construction of the Georgia plant, the land for which had been at least 90% graded. This is the installation of the Rivian solid panoramic roof window. It is just glued and fitted into its frame, easily and simply. Now the Rivian R1T pickup trucks are almost ready. Around 28% of the shares are held by insiders. 16% of the shares are owned by Amazon. In addition to the Rivian R1T, the company also produces the R1S as of 2018. It is a sport utility vehicle version of the first Rivian platform. Because of a shared electric chassis, the R1S design aimed to have 91% shared components with the R1T. The chassis includes braking, suspension, and cooling systems with a battery in the center. The R2 is a smaller, less expensive SUV on a new platform, tentatively scheduled to launch in early 2026. Rivian cars are also properly tested at the end of the production process. This is what aerodynamics testing looks like for the American Rivian electric car. And this is a clay modeling of Rivian R1T. The origins of clay modeling can be traced back to General Motors in the 1930s. It changed the industry by how much it simplified and sped up the design process. Designers could now visualize shapes and forms that were difficult and time-consuming to create in steel. Rivian currently has 3 working models of the R1T and R1S and an electric delivery van. In development is a less expensive SUV named R2. Then there is the R3 electric compact SUV and also the R3X. Rivian is headquartered in Irvine, California, with its location focusing on vehicle engineering and design, propulsion and battery system development, and commercial functions. Rivian's sole production factory in Normal, Illinois, manufactures vehicle components such as battery packs. Rivian's Normal factory has steadily grown over the years. Last year, over 20,000 Rivian R1Ts were produced at this Rivian factory. After initial enthusiasm, Rivian's stock fell and has been at a similar level for 2 years. Please let me know in the comments section whether you prefer Rivian or Lucid or Tesla. At this American Tesla factory, employees typically work 50 to 60 hours a week. The average hourly wage for a Tesla production worker is $22. Tesla employs more than 140,000 people in 4 gigafactories in the United States. Right now you're looking at pressed body parts from a gigapress. And now the body parts are welded together to form the frame of the car. Tesla sold a staggering 1.8 million cars last year. Electric vehicles have their limitations, which is why their growth on the road has been slower than expected. A total of 20% of electric vehicles are sold annually in the US. Of these, 11% are hybrids, and the remaining 8% are electric. The body of the future Tesla car is now complete and can move on to paint shop. One Tesla assembly line produces about 2,000 cars a week. Tesla is one of the world's most valuable companies in terms of market capitalization. In its 7 factories, which Tesla calls gigafactories, Tesla employs over 127,000 people worldwide as of 2024. These employees work around the globe to make the vision of a sustainable future a reality. Each production site plays a unique role in the Tesla production system. Elon Musk claims that Tesla models can last 300,000 to 500,000 miles, or about 1,500 battery cycles. However, there just haven't been any real-world scenarios yet to prove that claim. Tesla models are warrantied up to 150,000 miles before experiencing battery degradation. The welded body in white is dipped in a phosphate tank to increase the surface affinity for paint. Except for the press shop up to this point, all production is automated by robots. The paint shop has a total of 6 stages, and at the end, the body is beautifully painted with the final coat. Tesla's Gigafactory, planned in Mexico, would cost $10 billion, making it the most expensive Gigafactory yet. For comparison, the Berlin Gigafactory, the second most expensive facility, cost around $5.5 billion. Quality control is important at Tesla, but many customers complain of lower quality in recent years. The car bodies move across the factory either on moving belts or by automated guided vehicles called AGV. The painted car bodywork is moved to an illuminated inspection area for checking paint defects. Now the main assembly line begins. This is where the entire interior of the car is assembled. Robotic manipulating arms automatically mount the front dashboard. The finished front dashboard is assembled into the car in a single step using a robotic manipulator. The panoramic sunroof is installed automatically. However, the rear window is installed manually by employees. Robots at the Tesla factory are also assembling seats, something that's not usual for car factories. Now the chassis, transmission, and motor are put into the bodywork. The seats, wheels, front bumper, and wiring are installed next. Tesla Motors was founded in 2003 by Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. Elon Musk became the largest shareholder after investing $6.5 million in 2004. And it's still worth noting that 100% of all Tesla cars sold in the United States are manufactured in the United States. Tesla is constantly trying to replace as many human workers as possible with robots. Robots are cheaper to run and can work 24/7. However, small jobs such as wiring and screwing inside the interior are still not handled by robots. Now the nearly finished car will move on to the dyno to test the car's performance. Water resistance test chamber is used to find gaps between body parts. The tour of the test circuit lasts approximately 30 minutes, after which the test driver takes over the next car. After leaving the factory, the cars are taken to the testing track next to the factory. Here, driving performance, brake function, chassis, wipers, and much more are tested. This quality testing polygon should reveal any potential defects before the car reaches the customer. The testing polygon is equipped with a special track where the chassis, suspension, and other driving characteristics are tested. A process called clay modeling is being used to develop the new Tesla. The use of clay models has been a staple of the car design process for decades, and it continues to be used by car companies today. The clay models also bring realism to the design. A design that works great in the digital world can sometimes seem awkward when viewed as a real object, and the malleable clay is instrumental in literally smoothing out the proportions of a car. This Tesla factory in New York, Buffalo, is where superchargers are made. Tesla employs a number of highly skilled engineers and programmers. They are usually concentrated in development centers in places like New York. "46% of all Tesla vehicles sold are sold in the United States. It will also focus on European markets and now Asia. Tesla's most popular cars include the Model 3 and Model Y. The robots are constantly monitored in the control center via a camera system. Medium-sized factory robot, it will work with an accuracy of 0.2 millimeters. KUKA robots are used through the entire manufacturing process, as it is part of the fully automated philosophy by Tesla. Working at Tesla is still seen as a kind of prestige, and workers expect higher salaries than at other car companies. Employees at Tesla factories must receive training and adapt to new procedures. The work environment in Tesla factories focuses on comfort and a pleasant working environment for the employee. They have a range of benefits and a variety of activities right inside the factory. Texas Tesla factory is the second largest building by volume in the world. Covering 2,500 acres along the Colorado River with over 10 million square feet of factory floor, Gigafactory Texas is a United States manufacturing hub for Model Y and the home of Cybertruck. Gigafactory Nevada is one of the world's highest volume plants for electric motors, energy storage products, vehicle powertrains, and batteries. This factory produces billions of cells per year. Of course, they are destined for Tesla cars. In this factory, there is a huge pressure on quantity and also quality at the same time. You are now watching the copper wire production process in Gigafactory, California. This step in the production process is called the stator winding. Half a mile of copper wire is used for each motor. Each electric motor consists of a stator and a rotor. This is three-phase alternating current induction motor. Tesla's induction motor outputs 270 kilowatts of power, and an ICE produces 140 kilowatts. The main factories are as follows. Fremont Factory in California, where Model S, Model 3, Model X, and Model Y are produced. Then there is the Gigafactory in Nevada, where the electric motors, batteries, and powertrains are produced in bulk. Gigafactory New York builds solar roof, solar panels, and electrical components for superchargers. Gigafactory Shanghai is Tesla's first factory outside the United States. It produces Model 3 and Model Y. Gigafactory Texas is the global headquarters for Model Y and Cybertruck production. Gigafactory Berlin is the first European factory to produce Model Y and batteries. Kato Factory is responsible for battery development and pilot product production. Megafactory Lathrop is a utility-scale battery factory optimized for building megapacks. And now we look at the production of a battery electric pickup truck, Tesla Cybertruck. This is how the giant Cybertruck windscreen is assembled, and it looks huge. In the first year after its release, the Cybertruck had 21 complaints and 6 separate recalls. Tesla Cybertruck is made of very hard, cold-rolled stainless steel. Huge initial investment in Gigafactory pays off thanks to low operating costs. Although robots are expensive to purchase, they do not require a salary but only basic maintenance. Robots in car factories are therefore replacing human employees, who are then out of work. However, car maker Tesla is looking for senior workers who can operate robots. Belt production runs 24/7 and never stops outside of error conditions. As you can see for yourself right now, the production processes in all automotive factories that focus on the production of EVs are very similar. The sequence is the same. However, the materials and the details used are very different. In 1913, Henry Ford introduced the assembly line to help reduce the cost of the already popular Model T. Instead of working on a variety of tasks to build one car, each worker remained in the same spot and performed one task for his entire shift. The same approach is being taken in these futuristic Tesla factories. For comparison, you are now watching Xiaomi's Chinese factory. A battery electric full-size sedan called the Xiaomi SU7 is being produced here. Xiaomi SU7 sold 75,723 units 28 days after its initial launch. Xiaomi has reportedly sold 150,000 SU7 cars so far. By the end of 2024, dealers will have sold a total of 135,000 electric cars, with an additional 15,000 sold this year. This car is Xiaomi's first car and is being produced at their manufacturing plant in Beijing, China. According to Xiaomi, SU stands for Speed Ultra. SU may also be a reference to the Chinese word meaning speed. The SU7 is available in 4 versions, namely the SU7, SU7 Pro, SU7 Max, and SU7 Ultra. By mid-2024, Xiaomi became the 8th largest automotive startup in China, measured by sales quantity. The SU7 Ultra received 3,680 refundable pre-orders within 10 minutes of its announcement. This statistic also shows how popular this car is. However, a number of reviewers state that although these cars look beautiful at first glance, on closer inspection, they look plastic and cheap. As you can see for yourself, Xiaomi's factory in China is highly automated with a high degree of robotization. Xiaomi SU7 is able to accelerate from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 5.2 seconds, and speed is limited to 130 miles per hour. Production processes follow Tesla's processes and try to improve them even further. The sales volume of the Xiaomi SU7 is a source of envy to legacy automakers, especially during a price war in mainland China. In addition to the SU7, the YU7 will also be launched soon. It is a battery electric midsize crossover SUV. The YU7 will be manufactured at Xiaomi's F2 EV factory in Yichuang, Beijing, construction of which started in August 2024 and is scheduled to reach completion by July 2025. Painting is done with robotic hands to ensure an even coat of paint. The specifications of the YU7 have not yet been released officially by Xiaomi, but have instead been revealed through public homologation documents. The YU7 is powered by a dual-motor all-wheel drive powertrain, consisting of a 220 kilowatt motor powering the front wheels. During the quality control of the painting, the motor is assembled in another part of the factory. Xiaomi SU7 has 4 main color systems and 9 colors. This color is bay blue. This car tries to be like a mobile phone on the controls. Final quality control takes place in illuminated LED tunnels. Xiaomi SU7 is positioned as a C-Class luxury technology sedan with a wind resistance coefficient of 0.2. Xiaomi Auto Factory is currently hiring a large number of employees. The monthly salary can reach up to $1,370. The Xiaomi SU7 has been facing several hardware-related braking issues. One significant concern involves the brake pads, which have been criticized for being too small, making effective braking difficult, especially during emergency situations. Xiaomi's president revealed in an interview that the company aims to target 20 million premium users for its new EV. Xiaomi's SU7 electric sedan has been officially unveiled to the European public for the first time. Ironically, the Xiaomi SU7 supports Apple CarPlay. Xiaomi SU7 Model Max lets you get back on the road with an incredible 315 miles of range after just 15 minutes of charging. Electric vehicles with both quick acceleration and high top speed are rare, but this car excels in both. The entire series is equipped with silicon carbide controls, chargers, and compressors with a peak efficiency of 99.6%. There are 2 physical buttons on the steering wheel. One turns on smart driving and the other enables boost mode for a convenient shortcut. Thanks to the high production capacity of the Chinese factory, you will receive this car relatively quickly from the order. Although there are a number of electric car manufacturers in the Chinese market, Xiaomi can still be successful. Here you can see the production process of the Polestar 2. Polestar is a Swedish car company producing electric cars. The main owners are Geely Holding and Volvo Cars. With an asset-light approach in development and manufacturing, Polestar does not have its own manufacturing facility. Instead, it produces cars in facilities controlled by Volvo or Geely in several countries, including China, the United States, and South Korea. Currently, 3 models are in production: Polestar 2, Polestar 3, and Polestar 4. In 2025, Polestar 5 will be launched, and there are already plans for models 6 and 7. All cars of this car company are absolutely pure electric. In total, over 2,400 employees work directly for Polestar worldwide. You are now watching the factory in Chengdu, China. While annual retail sales have declined from 52,000 vehicles in 2023 to 45,000 vehicles in 2024, that's a 15% drop in sales. The company remains optimistic. Let's see how the sales numbers turn out this year. Polestar 2 is considered to be very well built, so it might mean that all the models are produced at a high standard. Started production of luxury SUV Polestar 3 in South Carolina, USA. The first South Carolina-produced cars are being handed over to customers in the next few weeks. It is expected to last between 300,000 and 400,000 miles before the cost of repairs becomes too high. Assuming a driver covers 15,000 miles per year, the Polestar 2 can serve them well for over 15 years. Once the assembly is complete, the car will be tested and a thorough paint quality check will also be carried out. This is another of the world's major manufacturers of all-electric cars, Chinese carmaker NIO. NIO has 2 manufacturing plants in Hefei, Anhui Province, China. Last year, this carmaker produced over 220,000 electric cars. Most of them are, of course, made in China, but an increasing number of cars are exported abroad. NIO reported record-high deliveries and robust revenue growth, driven by the popularity of its models like the ES8, ES6, and EC6. NIO set 5 records in their track-only EP9 for the fastest lap for an electric-powered car. Over 80% of all NIO cars are sold in China. Now the bodywork is painted and the main assembly has started. NIO is notable for developing and operating battery swapping stations for its vehicles as an alternative to conventional charging stations. It operates over 1,300 battery swap stations in China. After entering more European countries as planned, NIO has spent the last few years overseas focusing on 5 markets: Norway, Germany, the Netherlands, Sweden, and Denmark, while restraining from entering others. NIO is trying to focus on producing cheaper electric cars, but also offers hypercars. In 2018, NIO sold over 11,000 cars, but by 2024 it will have sold over 220,000 cars. These numbers show how much this electric car manufacturer is growing. NIO's first car was the NIO EP9 electric hypercar, presented the same day the brand was launched. NIO revealed the ES8, a 7-seater electric SUV, in December 2017 and began deliveries of the ES8 in June 2018. NIO launched the ES6, a 5-seater electric SUV, in December 2018 and began deliveries in June 2019. In December 2019, NIO launched the EC6, a 5-seater electric coupe SUV with deliveries beginning in September 2020. NIO launched ET7, its electric sedan, in January 2021 and revealed ET5, its most compact sedan, at NIO Day in December 2021. As you can see, the production processes of all EV factories are very similar. The differences are mainly in the price and the focus of the car factory. Please let me know in the comments section which Chinese electric car you like best, or whether you prefer the good old American Tesla.